Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Dawson County Board of Commissioners work session. Today is June the 18th, 2026. Appreciate all of those that are in attendance with us here in the room, as well as those that are with us online. We'll get right into the new business. First up, we have presentation of Georgia Opioid Crisis Abatement Trust Grant application for treatment services, Judicial Accountability Division, Director Brad Williams. Brad.
Good afternoon, Chairman. Commissioners. So this one is one that you've seen before. It's about 3 years that this grant's been available. Treatment Services is seeking grant funding from the Georgia Opioid Crisis Abatement Trust to facilitate better outcomes for those in treatment for opioid use disorder. The Georgia Opioid Crisis Abatement Trust was created to administer Georgia's share of funds from national settlements with opioid manufacturers and distributors. So this agenda item is to request approval for the ratification of the application by Treatment Services, requesting a total of $168,900 in opioid settlement grant funding. And if awarded, accept the award and appoint the grants manager as the program designee and authorize the chairman to execute all related application and award documents. So what we're asking for in that $168,000 is we're requesting $109,200 in contract personnel for part-time drug screeners to expand our drug screening program, $20,100 for training for existing treatment staff, $15,600 for contract counseling services to be able to outsource some of the counseling programming, and $24,000 for education and vocational training for accountability court program participants. The award period is over 2 years, and there's no match required.
Questions for Brad?
Sorry, I have one quick question. It's probably kind of a silly one, but I just want to make sure because I'm ignorant on the subject. Is this total grant used just for the service for these services in Dawson County, or is it for the district?
No, this is just Dawson
For
County.
Dawson, okay.
We do separate applications for
Okay, I didn't
each
know how
county.
it worked, if it was for county or district that you do the applications for. So this will be used just in Dawson.
Correct.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Other questions for Brad? All right, well, stay there. You got the next one. Presentation of acceptance of FY 2027 Criminal Justice Coordinating Council grant funds for treatment services.
All right, that's a long one too.
Yes, sir.
The Georgia Accountability Court Funding Committee was created by the Georgia legislature to provide courts with critical funding necessary to support the growth of accountability courts in Georgia to reduce the prison population. Dawson County has received this state money for well over a decade now. This year, Dawson County Treatment Court was awarded $335,309 in grant funds from the CJCC, the Criminal Justice Coordinating Council. The match requirement, there is a match requirement, is $59,172, and that will be fulfilled by current general fund staff salaries. So no new funding request. That match is already built in. The funds will be used to continue the 3 full-time grant counselor positions, attend state conference, employ surveillance officers for home visits and drug screen collection. Also, funds will be used for drug testing services and supplies related to drug testing.
Questions for Brad on this one? Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Next up, we have presentation of expansion of the Dawson County Library Building, Chestatee Regional Library System Director Leslie Clark. Ms. Clark.
Hello. Thank you, Chairman. Thank you, Commissioners. We are here to request to use impact fee money to do, I guess, what you would call a feasibility study to see what, if anything, we can do to the current library to expand the footprint rather than build another facility, since Dawson County is growing so fast and we have outgrown the space that we're in. And for those of you who are unaware, the library was built in 2001. We did do some renovation last year, but that was carpet and paint and taking over a couple space and added a small meeting room. But we have outgrown the space that we're in. And we are just requesting to see what we can do. And then later we would ask for architectural services and those kind of things to actually draw plans and to request money from the state and from the county. Right now, we just want to know what can we do.
Okay, and Ms. Clark and I, we had this discussion at her facility, and I told her, I said, expanding our current library, I think, would be the best way to go. And so I do think we have that ability. We'll just have to make sure that legally we can do everything, because they have a nice little sum built up in impact fees
Mhm.
that will allow, and I think, it will allow that if I'm reading it correctly, but I want to make sure we get a legal opinion on that. So Joy, if you could help us with that, find out exactly what we can and can't do with some of the money they have, so that we can give her an answer to that question.
What is the dream, the wish list that you have in the back of your head that you would like to do? We're talking about increasing total square footage of the building and allowing more physical books or more technology, or what's the dream?
The dream, first of all, would be a larger meeting space. We have a meeting room that really holds like 85 to 100. And then we have a small meeting room that holds about 45, 50 tops. And there's not enough room for programs or to have large group activities, or even for the community to use our spaces. We've had to, fortunately, yesterday we did not, but we've had to turn people away from our children's programs in the summertime because the fire marshal code, we can't, put that many bodies in the room. And it's unfortunate. And we don't want to have to do that. So we would like a larger space to not have to do that. And as it is now with our early literacy programs that Mary Beth, our children's storyteller, is doing, we're already at 40 people in there. And even in the larger meeting room that holds 85, you get some active 2 and 3-year-olds and their handlers and all that kind of stuff in there. It's an active, busy space. So, and early literacy is our bread and butter. And that's what we really try to do the most with the 1,000 Books Before Kindergarten and those kinds of programs. And we're right, the library is so ideally situated, between the high school, the elementary school, the junior high, Head Start, and then of course, even the tech school down the street, that in all the neighborhoods right there and the growth that's in Dawson County, we only expect it to get bigger, not less.
A lot of that growth is Dawsonville. That's right there in your footprint. But with the space increase, obviously you have an increase in your everyday expenses, such as heat and air, and you're comfortable understanding that the impact fees can't be utilized to go towards those ongoing general expenses. So
Right,
you have to
and-
absorb that somewhere else in your budget.
Well, we would certainly hope that if we're expanding, I don't know how many square feet, that the county would recognize that it was cheaper to do that, as the chairman said, and would give us an allocation to match that. We wouldn't need a full staff to run a building, but we might need a couple. And then we would need, heating, air, toilet paper, those, kinds of service, those kind of things. There is that ongoing cost,
Yeah.
but it's certainly cheaper than building another whole building for a county that's growing as fast as Dawson County is.
Yeah, sure. All that to say, we just got to be cognizant of all the
Of
moving
course.
pieces. The building is one piece of it. The other moving parts is
There
more.
are definitely other moving parts, but once we know what's feasible in the building and we design it, the right way, we wouldn't need a lot of staff. Because we would just hopefully have great sight lines.
Gotcha.
Other questions?
I have a question for Natalie. Put you right on the spot. Do you know how much they have in impact fees? No. Will you just no, that's okay. Will you just get that for me? And then my other question for you would be, I know that you've kind of been talking about expansion for a while, so obviously it's needed. Do we see that need more in the summertime when there's more summer programs and kids are out of school, that it's more of a necessity, or is it truly a necessity year round?
It's truly a necessity year round,
Okay.
especially for like I was saying, with the children's programming and those kind of things. Like we had 20 teens today for a teen program in our smaller meeting room doing an escape room.
Okay.
So,
Well, I didn't know if more of that was in the summer though, because people are out and you'll have like maybe camps and more services.
but in the afternoons, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good.
In the afternoons, we have a lot of teens.
Okay.
And we have a decent teen space that we did with our renovation, but we still need a space for them to go. It'd be nice if it was a little bit more soundproof.
Okay.
And those kind of things. And study rooms. I'm sure Dawson County is the same as we're doing in Lumpkin County. We have a lot of supervised visits in the library, trying to for unification of families.
Sure.
And we could use more spaces of that here in this county that we don't currently have.
I
Well-
just didn't know if it was a temporary fix for summer or if
No,
it needed to be
it's-
year round. Okay.
And the thing too is it opens up opportunities for them to apply for money from the state. as well has a match. So,
Right, because there is grant money. Now, the governor did do some line item vetoes in some of our capital outlay grants, but we hope they're going to be restored in the coming years. So there is a match up to $1 million. Like we put in the first 100,000, they put in the 900, and then a 50-50 match. So we can get money from the state to help with this expansion and stuff as well. Again, to Commissioner Gaines's thing, it wouldn't count for ongoing costs.
Yeah.
But it would pay for the actual facility itself.
other questions?
Oh, Natalie.
Natalie?
I thought it was a friend. I have a little over $2 million. Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. And we'll get that info. Next up, we have presentation request to approve a contract with Gresham Smith for engineering design services for the repair of the Steel Bridge Road Bridge over Amaclola Creek. Public Works Director Robert Drury. Robert?
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman. Just as a little background, this particular bridge, it's a single lane, wood deck, steel structure. The Georgia DOT does their annual or biannual inspection every 2 years. They'll inspect the county-owned bridges. And this bridge rating came up in 2025 as being a poor condition. So we presented the information to the board, if you recall, at your January workshop. And the direction that we were given was, let's put our efforts toward repairing the bridge. So the county has several engineering firms on call, and several of those firms indicated they do bridge work. And so we approached them for a quote, for a proposal to do some prepare plans and specifications to repair the bridge. And so I got 2 quotes in. The lowest quote coming from Gresham Smith in the amount of $59,726.20. And that includes providing construction bid documents for the repair project, including notes, details, drawings, bid quantities, bid items, specifications, and of course, providing with the county with a repair estimate, cost estimate. They have indicated that their efforts will at least improve the condition of the bridge from poor to the next, at minimum, the next level up, which I think is a fair. And they indicate that if they're awarded this, it would take them 16 weeks to have those plans prepared. So, and the fund source, we're looking at SPLOST 7.
Questions for Robert?
Can you clarify? You said with this, it would go from poor to fair? Is it?
I believe that's the next level up. It's excellent, good, fair, and poor. And then be underneath poor is a closure.
So is this just a Band-Aid then?
It's yes, correct. It is. It'll improve the condition of the bridge.
So what would we have to do to get another level?
Yeah.
Might as well look at a different level instead of just a,
You're probably looking at a replacement.
Well, that's
I
what
know,
we
but far as,
talked about this in the,
The planning.
Mhm.
retreat.
and this was the direction that we had,
Yeah.
right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Well, it was, what was presented was like a double lane bridge and covered to try to make it match.
Right.
That was like, I don't know, $6 million.
Right.
I don't remember the
5
numbers.
million, 6 million.
But is that the, is there an option in between is what you're asking?
Correct.
Basically, is there something that can take us above fair, but
Good.
not $6 million?
The best you're going to be in repairing is bring it up a level. I mean, it's never going to be any more than that because of the age of the structure and the steel itself. Other
Robert.
than replacement.
Upon completion of these repairs, what do you think the additional life expectancy of this bridge will be? I'm putting you on the spot. I realize that. I mean, these repairs are going to get us another 30 years, 50 years.
I wouldn't go 50. It depends on what age it does to it. But it will be repainted, and there may be an opportunity maybe in the next 15, 20 years to have to repaint it again. But the steel structure itself, it's kind of hard to tell. 20 years at minimum, I would expect.
yeah.
That was, you were going exactly where I was going next. I mean, if we can get some time out of it,
We
and then
can.
come up with a game plan and put it in
Yeah, we can.
T-Splost or Splost or something like that, that'd be fine. I was under the impression with us going from poor to fair, you might be talking 5 years or something.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't expect to be that less. I can certainly get more information. With the cost estimate might vet that out as well.
Yeah, I was going to say, they'll probably tell us that.
Yeah.
Okay. Other questions for Robert? Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Next up, we have presentation of Community Development personnel reclassification request of permanent staff to complete addressing assignments. Community Development Director Richard Osborne. Richard?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So this is related to essential functions of addressing and mapping. Sometimes when we're presented with a challenge, the Community Development Department staff can look at opportunities, including cost savings opportunities for the citizens. In this case, our addressing and mapping staff, Joshua Tuttle, his last day was June 2nd. That makes 3 of those full-time folks in 4 years. So it's, although Joshua recently did a great job and he was the longest lasting of the 2 who came before him, if we have 3 people in 4 years, it's somewhat of a revolving door. And also his workload was 60% reviewing and issuing addresses and road names. And that's essential. That comes in every single day. The rest of his time was on an as-needed basis for mapping. There's a lot of skill level involved in mapping services, but we don't have a huge workload. If Joshua's last day was June 2nd, since June 3rd, I don't have a pileup of mapping services that absolutely have to get done today. It truly is on an as-needed basis. Discussions are ongoing for a possible service contract with a private company to do some of the as-needed mapping. The county currently uses GMAS for some mapping services. We may or may not pursue that. That's in the draft stages. Hannah and all the folks with the finance folks, do a great job. And Hannah is our newer staff purchasing manager. She's done a great job. So she's working with me on that. The immediate need is to continue reviewing and issuing addresses and road names. These functions are essential. They touch on community development, sheriff's office, fire, EMS, public works, elections. We even have the city of Dawsonville staff send us their addresses so that we can put them into the 911 system and make sure that they get distributed. The attached proposal is for Jordan Johnson, our current permit tech, and Jordan is with us. We're really glad to have her. She's already doing an excellent job since 2022 as our permit technician, and addressing and permitting go hand in hand. And so luckily, if she takes on a lot more work in terms of addressing, we do have a person, another great person on our staff, Chrissy Loden, who does permitting, who can, if needed, if the need continues to build up. Chrissy has the potential to take a little bit of permitting, but Jordan already does a great job as our permit technician. She's at a grade 12. This proposal would be for her to become a grade 13 and have a new job title, new job description, permitting and addressing reviewer with a 7.5% increase. That money would come from existing budgeted funds. We have 3 different within community development GL codes, 7410 for planning development, 3351 for code compliance, former marshals, and 1576 for GIS mapping. So that money could essentially be transferred from salary 1576 to salary 7410. And then in the future, near future, when we use a private company for as needed mapping, again, it would be budgeted funds just being transferred from the existing full-time GIS mapping 1576 into professional services for a private company. This is essential. June 2nd, Joshua's last day. June 3rd, Jordan's first day doing addressing and road naming. So she's already been doing it. And so really as staff, I would request please that the BOC consider moving this today from the work session to the voting session and have this effective immediately.
Questions for Robert?
Richard.
Richard, I mean. I already talked to Robert. All right.
One, I want to say that for a very short period of time, I had to issue addresses and road names and had no idea what I was doing, and it was very cumbersome. So thanks for taking that on as a second job without being paid for it, because that was a pain. So thank you. That was really all I had to say. I mean, I'm good to move it forward, but
Yeah, I mean, that's consolidation in the right direction.
And the reason for the move is just because of the nuances of the timing of the person leaving that we just found out about, or?
That plus, if we advertise it again as a full-time position, the mapping side of it, which is very technical, somebody's going to want, frankly, a lot of money. And because unfortunately they can leapfrog, we train them up. They've already got good skill set. They get comfortable, and then and Joshua did a great job. But he's now with Jackson County making a lot more money, and leapfrogging to Hall or Forsyth or Jackson or someplace, or going to the private sector. We're going to continue to have a revolving door if we don't do something different. Plus, this is a proposed cost savings to the taxpayers.
and I will tell you, like when we had a GIS technician when I was working in Public Works and GIS worked for that department, I don't remember the salary specifically, but after that last salary study, I think it bumped up to 60,000, and that was with a GIS technician. And they were doing more. They were doing other points and culvert and stuff like that. But a lot of their job was the addresses and the road names. And so with putting that, adding that to you and just increasing it to the necessary amount really saves a whole separate position for that. So
Yeah, my question was more around moving it forward tonight is one of
well, because
my,
she's doing the job, I guess, is the,
and I'm fine with that.
Pay her to get to do the job. Yeah. Other questions? All right, thank you, Richard. Y'all good with moving it forward? All right. Next up, we have presentation of board appointments, Long Range Planning Committee, Tim Costley replacing Mandy Power, Park Recreation, Blake Holbrook replacing Calvin Bird. Those terms are July 2026 through December 2027. And there has been a request to move that forward as well so that we can have enough people to carry out these meetings. I'd say just move them both. Just be one vote on both of them. There you go.
well, there's no money involved.
All right, y'all good with that, right? All right, so county manager report. Joey.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Very brief tonight. The flash report for the month of May, as well as a list of agreements and contracts, is in your packet. And lastly, just a reminder that county offices will be closed tomorrow, June 19th, in observance of the Juneteenth holiday. That's all I have, sir.
Questions for the county manager? County attorney report. Ms. Davis?
Yes, sir. Good evening. Apologies for my late arrival. There was a horrible accident, I guess, on State Route 9, and I was stopped. Tonight, I do not have a public report, but we do have a need for executive session for personnel and litigation. Any real estate?
That's it.
Just personnel and litigation, please.
I'll introduce your new help.
I have an intern here with me today, Miss Henley Davis. The last name may seem familiar. It is indeed because she's my daughter. Yes, so she's working for me this summer and trying to get a feel for what it's like to be a lawyer. So if she doesn't go to law school, we're going to know it wasn't a great experience. But
It could be the hours. Good to have you with us. All right, so that gets us to the end of the business. So we have time to go into executive session. So do I have a motion to go in executive session? And you said for personnel and litigation? All right. So moved by Commissioner Gaines, seconded by Commissioner Stowers. Discussion. Hearing none, please vote. And that's approved 4-0. So thank you for your attendance. We'll be back at 6 o'clock for the voting session.